morning, America.
Good morning, Canada.
I'm Lillian Jagelski, and joining me live from Canada is
Elizabeth Baum.
Imagine you were flying a plane with no flight experience whatsoever. That's how 13-year-old Brian Robeson felt on a flight to see his father in Canada.
Now let's take a look at the interview with Brian Robeson's parents. Why did you move to Canada?
Well, I moved to Canada because my wife divorced me, and I still don't know why.
What is your job here?
I'm a mechanical engineer from Canada.
Now on to you, Presley, in America.
Thank you, Carmen. I'm Presley Hamilton with the mother of Brian Robeson. Do you think your son is alive?
I sure do hope so. He's not used to the wild.
Does your son have anything that could help him in the Canadian woods?
I gave him a hatchet before he went on the plane.
Why did you divorce Mr. Robeson?
I'm not comfortable answering that question.
Now on to meteorologist Lizzie Tuvero with the weather.
Presley, if Brian Robinson landed here, he would be facing a tornado, some rain here and there, and finally warm and hot temperatures. Now on to Shelby Rebeck, our naturalist.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I'm Shelby Rebeck, here with what Brian could eat to survive. There are some fish in a lake that he could eat, some birds, and some raspberries. Let's just hope he doesn't eat these berries.
Are you lonely? Do you wish you had a buddy? Introducing the brand new Brick Buddy. Yay! Now you'll never have to be lonely again. What's that? You don't like the Brick Buddy? Well, Brick Buddy is defensive.
Bam!
Breaking news. This program was interrupted by our sponsors. We've got more news on the 13-year-old boy named Brian Robeson who was lost in the Canadian woods. After 57 days, we have finally found him. Now let's take a look at the interview with Brian Robeson.
Hi, I'm Natalia Maples, and we're here with Brian Robinson. So tell me, how did you survive the plane crash?
I landed the plane in the lake.
How did you know what to eat and what not to eat?
I didn't know. I just ate stuff that looked edible.
What tips do you have for other people that if they ever get stuck in the wilderness?
Don't feel sorry for yourself and use what you have.
What did you use for a shelter?
I used an overhang by a lake and I covered it with sticks and logs.
How did you make a fire?
I used bark from a birch tree and my hatchet to create sparks.
If you could, would you go back?
Well, I'll definitely miss the peace and quiet and all the pretty sunsets and views, but no.
What animals did you meet and how did you react with each other?
I met lots, but the two that stuck out to me were a bear. I met the bear by a raspberry bush. He didn't do nothing, but I was terrified. And then a wolf, I was in shock, it didn't do nothing, but they just walked right past me.
What challenges did you face in the wilderness?
I was attacked by a moose. It was terrifying. And of course, right after, I was hit by a tornado. I was thrown against the walls of my shelter.
2 hours later.
What challenges did you face in the wilderness?
There was this moose, and it pushed me into the water and kept trying to drown me. After the moose, there was a tornado. It ripped my shelter apart, took my tools away. It's crucial. It's just crucial.
It's tragic. What is one thing you missed from the woods?
Definitely the peace and quiet and the views of the sunsets.
Terrific. What affected you the most while in the Canadian wilderness?
Probably the thought of being there forever, not being able to see my mom or dad anymore.
Yes.